What if everything you thought you knew about success was wrong? What if there's a hidden rule book that the powerful follow, rules they'll never tell you about? Today, we're uncovering all 48 laws from Robert Greene's Banned in Prisons masterpiece, The 48 Laws of Power. This is the complete summary, every single law, the strategies that built empires and destroyed enemies. This book has been called manipulative, ruthless, and dangerous. It's also been called essential, eye-opening, and brilliant. By the end of this video, you'll understand the game of power completely. You'll see it being played everywhere, and you'll know how to play it yourself. Let's get started. Robert Greene spent years analyzing 3,000 years of history to write this book. He studied emperors, con artists, generals, seductresses, and corporate titans. He found patterns, strategies that worked across centuries and cultures. These aren't theories, they're observations of how power actually operates in the real world. Some laws will make you uncomfortable. That's intentional. Greene isn't preaching morality, he's revealing reality. You can use this knowledge defensively to protect yourself, or strategically to advance yourself. The choice is yours. But first, you need to know the rules. Here are all 48 laws of power. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make your superiors feel superior. If you appear more brilliant than them, they'll feel threatened and destroy you. Make them look good, and you'll rise with them. Example, Nicolas Fouquet threw a party so magnificent it outshone the king, Louis XIV. 3 weeks later, he was arrested and imprisoned for life. The king seized his property and built Versailles. Takeaway: celebrate your boss's achievements, not your own superiority. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends are more likely to betray you because of envy. Former enemies, once won over, try harder to prove their loyalty. Example: Michael III of Byzantium trusted his friend Basilius completely. Basilius eventually murdered him and took the throne. Takeaway: hire a former competitor. They'll work harder than any friend. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance. If they don't know your intentions, they can't prepare defenses. Use misdirection and false sincerity. Example: con artist Yellow Kid Weil would accidentally reveal his betting system. Victims thought they discovered his secret, exactly what he wanted. Takeaway: share false goals openly while pursuing real goals in secret. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. The more you say, the more common you appear. Powerful people impress through silence and restraint. Example: Louis XIV rarely spoke in meetings. His ministers revealed everything. He revealed nothing. When he did speak, his words carried tremendous weight. Takeaway: silence makes you appear profound and in control. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation precedes you. Once damaged, it's nearly impossible to repair. But a strong reputation lets you intimidate and win before fighting. Example: P.T. Barnum created constant spectacles. Even negative press increased his fame. His reputation as America's showman was his greatest asset. Takeaway: build your reputation deliberately. Protect it fiercely. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by appearance. What's unseen counts for nothing. Stand out. Be mysterious, controversial, or larger than life. Example: Barnum promoted a woman claiming to be 161 years old. Obviously fake, but people paid to see for themselves. Attention equals opportunity. Takeaway: obscurity is worse than scandal. Law 8. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. When you make the first move, you're on the defensive. Make your opponent come to you, and you control the situation. Example: Napoleon lured the Austrians deep into French territory, stretching their supply lines. Then he crushed them on his terms. Takeaway: he who controls the location controls the outcome. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Any triumph through argument is empty. Show, don't tell. Demonstrate, don't debate. Example: Michelangelo didn't argue with Pope Julius II about his artistic vision. He kept painting. When the Sistine Chapel was revealed, all arguments ended. Takeaway: results silence critics better than words ever could. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotional states are contagious. Associate with the positive and fortunate. Avoid the perpetually miserable. They'll drag you down. Example: Lola Montez attached herself to powerful, optimistic men and rose to incredible heights. When she associated with failures, her fortune collapsed. Takeaway: your associations define your trajectory. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. To maintain independence, be needed. The more people depend on you, the more freedom you have. Otto von Bismarck made himself the only person who could navigate European alliances. Even those who hated him couldn't afford to lose him. Takeaway: possess talents or knowledge that can't be replaced. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere gesture can cover dozens of dishonest acts. Give something away to distract from what you're taking. Example: the Trojan horse was a generous gift. Troy accepted it and was destroyed from within. Takeaway: strategic kindness lowers defenses. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest. Don't appeal to mercy or gratitude. Show people what they gain by helping you. Example: when seeking allies, the Medicis didn't beg. They showed how alliance with Florence meant wealth and protection for others. Takeaway: answer the question, what's in it for me? Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowledge is power. Probe people with questions. Make them reveal information while you reveal nothing. Joseph Fouché controlled France during the Revolution by maintaining a network of spies. He knew everyone's secrets and used them to stay in power through multiple regime changes. Takeaway: listen more than you speak. Ask questions that reveal. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. If you leave embers, they reignite. Wounded enemies seek revenge. If you must fight, win decisively. Empress Wu Zichen didn't just defeat rivals, she eliminated every potential threat. Brutal, but she ruled China for decades. Takeaway: complete victory or avoid the fight entirely. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes you common. Create value through scarcity. Withdraw strategically. Dioceses withdrew from public life. People missed his wisdom so desperately they begged him to return and made him king. Takeaway: what's rare is valuable. Make yourself scarce. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate unpredictability. Humans crave predictability. By being unpredictable, you keep people off balance and unable to plan against you. Bobby Fischer's unpredictable behavior rattled opponents. They could never settle into rhythm against him. Takeaway: break your patterns strategically. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous, but isolation exposes you to more dangers. Better to mingle and know what's happening. Example: Chinese emperors who isolated in palaces were often overthrown. They lost touch with reality and couldn't see threats coming. Takeaway: stay connected. Information is protection. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Some people, when defeated, spend their lives seeking revenge. Choose your opponents carefully. Genghis Khan destroyed entire cities his opponents insulted. Some enemies are too dangerous to provoke. Takeaway: not every battle is worth fighting. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Stay above the fray. The moment you commit, you become a tool of others. Maintain independence. Queen Elizabeth I never married despite pressure. She remained independent and used the possibility of marriage as a diplomatic tool. Takeaway: commitment limits options. Stay flexible. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. People feel superior to those who appear less intelligent. Use this. Seem naive to make them drop their guard. Example: Columbo, the TV detective, played dumb. Criminals underestimated him and made mistakes. Takeaway: let others think they're smarter. They'll reveal more. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When weaker, surrender. Give your opponent nothing to fight. Use the time to recover and prepare. Example: Bertolt Brecht surrendered to the House Un-American Committee, giving simple answers. They had nothing to work with and left him alone. Takeaway: you can't fight what doesn't resist. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Intensity defeats extensity. Better to have one powerful patron than many weak connections. Focus your energy. Example: Rockefeller concentrated on dominating oil before expanding to other industries. Total focus led to total dominance. Takeaway: depth beats breadth. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Master the art of indirection. Flatter, yield to superiors, be frugal with flattery to others, and avoid stepping on toes. Example: Cardinal Richelieu became the power behind the French throne by perfecting courtier behavior, managing his image and relationships masterfully. Takeaway: politics exists everywhere. Learn to navigate it. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Don't accept the role society gives you. Create your own identity. Be dramatic and memorable. Example: Julius Caesar crafted his image deliberately. From his clothes to his dramatic gestures, he made himself a legend. Takeaway: you are your own greatest creation. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Never appear to make mistakes. Use others as scapegoats to disguise your involvement. Example: Cesare Borgia used a deputy to commit brutal acts in conquering Romagna, then executed the deputy to appear merciful. Takeaway: maintain your reputation while achieving your goals. Law 27. Create a cult-like following. People want to believe in something. Give them a cause, rituals, and belonging. They'll follow with devotion. Example: Apple created devoted followers not with products alone, but with identity and tribal belonging. Takeaway: sell belief, not just products. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Timidity is dangerous. Boldness covers mistakes and inspires confidence. Hesitation breeds doubt. Example: Cortez burned his ships after landing in Mexico. No retreat possible. His men had to conquer or die, and they conquered. Takeaway: commit fully or don't commit at all. Law 30. Plan all the way to the end. Don't improvise. Plan every step to the final goal. Account for consequences and obstacles. Example: Bismarck planned the unification of Germany decades in advance, anticipating every move and countermove. Takeaway: the end is everything. Plan accordingly. Law 35. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. People admire natural talent more than hard work. Hide your effort. Make success look easy. Example: great actors make difficult performances look effortless. The struggle is hidden. Takeaway: never let them see you sweat. Law 32. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Give people choices, all of which serve your purposes. They feel they're deciding freely, but you control the outcome. Example: salesmen offer 3 options: cheap, expensive, and just right. Most pick just right, exactly what the salesman wanted. Takeaway: frame the choices to control the decision. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, insecurity, need, uncontrollable emotion. Find it and you have leverage. Example: Cardinal Richelieu kept detailed files on everyone important in France, their debts, affairs, ambitions. He knew exactly which buttons to push. Takeaway: understand what moves people emotionally. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you carry yourself determines how you're treated. Expect respect and you'll receive it. Example: Christopher Columbus demanded and received noble treatment because he acted with confidence and dignity despite his modest origins. Takeaway: believe in your own worth and others will too. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Never seem in a hurry. Strike when the moment is right. Patience and timing are everything. Example: Warren Buffett waits years for the right investment opportunity. Patience pays more than rushed action. Takeaway: there's a time to act and a time to wait. Know which is which. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. The more attention you give a problem, the more power you give it. Ignore it, and it withers. Example: Henry Kissinger ignored critics and provocations. By not responding, he denied them the reaction they sought. Takeaway: some things die from lack of attention. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Grand symbolic gestures create powerful emotional responses, stage spectacles to all people. Example: Diane de Poitiers organized elaborate events that made her seem goddess-like to King Henry II of France. Takeaway: visual symbols speak louder than words. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Flaunting your differences makes you a target. Blend in outwardly while thinking independently inwardly. Example: Galileo was right about astronomy, but mocking the Pope got him imprisoned. Truth didn't protect him from social consequences. Takeaway: save radical ideas for trusted circles. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Anger and emotion are strategic disadvantages. Stay calm while making opponents emotional and stupid. Example: Napoleon kept cool while provoking enemies into making angry, irrational decisions he could exploit. Takeaway: he who loses composure loses the advantage. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. What's free is dangerous. It usually comes with obligations or hidden costs. Pay your own way. Example: the Trojan horse was free. It destroyed Troy. Beware Greeks bearing gifts. Takeaway: nothing is truly free. Always ask what it really costs. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Following a legend is impossible. You'll be compared and found wanting. Create your own path. Example: Alexander the Great had no predecessor to compare to, but those who followed him were all judged against his impossible standard. Takeaway: find your own territory where you can be first. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Trouble often traces to one individual. Isolate and neutralize that person and the problem dissolves. Example: Athens identified Pericles as Sparta's key leader. Attempts to remove him weakened Sparta's effectiveness. Takeaway: identify the source, not just the symptoms. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Coercion creates resistance. Seduction creates willing allies. Win people emotionally, not rationally. Example: Chuko Liang won allies through demonstrations of wisdom that inspired awe, not through logical arguments. Takeaway: people decide emotionally and justify logically. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Mirror your opponent's actions, it mocks them and throws them off balance, or mirror their desires to seduce them. Example: Alcibiades won trust by reflecting the values and behaviors of whatever group he was with. Takeaway: reflection creates connection or mockery depending on your goal. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. People say they want change, but actually resist it. Make change seem like a gentle improvement on the past. Example: Mao's early reforms were gradual. When he pushed too hard with the Cultural Revolution, chaos resulted. Takeaway: evolution beats revolution for lasting change. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Appearing perfect creates envy. Display harmless vices to seem human and deflect envy. Example: Joe Orton's two perfect plays created jealousy. His partner, Kenneth Halliwell, consumed by envy, murdered him. Takeaway: strategic imperfection makes you relatable. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Success can lead to arrogance and overreach. Know when you've won and stop pushing. Example: Napoleon should have stopped after dominating Europe. His invasion of Russia destroyed his empire. Takeaway: more isn't always better. Know when enough is enough. Law 48. Assume formlessness. By taking a form, a visible plan, fixed identity, or rigid strategy, you become a target. Be fluid like water. Adapt constantly. Example: Sparta had one form, military might. When defeated militarily, they collapsed. Athens was formless and adaptable. They survived. Takeaway: the formless cannot be grasped or destroyed.
And there you have it. All 48 laws of power. From never outshining the master to assuming formlessness. The complete playbook that Greene extracted from 3,000 years of history. The big picture. These laws fall into patterns. Laws of self-preservation, 1, 5, 15, 19, 26. Laws of strategic interaction, 3, 4, 9, 13, 38. Laws of power consolidation, 11, 23, 27, 43. Laws of adaptation, 17, 25, 48. The moral question. Yes, some of these seem ruthless. Greene doesn't claim they're moral, only that they're effective and observable throughout history. You have 3 choices. 1. Use this knowledge defensively. Recognize when others use these tactics on you. Knowledge is protection. 2. Use these strategically and ethically. Not every law requires manipulation. Boldness, Law 28, controlling your emotions, Law 39, and creating yourself, Law 25, can be applied ethically. 3. Reject them entirely. That's valid too, but you can't unknow them now. The ultimate truth. Power is neutral. It's a force, like electricity. It can light a hospital or electrocute someone. The tool isn't moral or immoral. The wielder is. These 48 laws are tools. Robert Greene handed you the toolbox and said, here's how the game is played. What you do with that knowledge defines who you are. My challenge. Don't be naive about power dynamics. They exist whether you acknowledge them or not. Understand the game, play it consciously, but never lose your humanity in pursuit of power. Because the greatest power of all, that's the power to choose who you become while you're gaining it. Call to action. If this complete breakdown added value, hit that like button and subscribe. This is the kind of deep content we create here. Drop a comment. Which law surprised you most? Which will you use? Which makes you uncomfortable? And get the book. This summary gives you the framework, but Greene's historical examples and analysis go much deeper. Until next time, stay aware, stay strategic, and remember, the game is already being played around you. The question is whether you'll understand it or be played by it. See you in the next video.